Hi everybody, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. I'm Phil Smythe, Barry Curtin over here, joining us shortly. Plenty coming up on the show. Baz, how are you?
Good, mate.
Let's have just a quick run through on the show, mate. Before we go, we'll go a bit later to Bridget for the news. But Bevo's coming in, controversial corner. There is a bit to cover, isn't there?
There is a bit around.
Taylor Meyer, snooker player, ran second in the Australian Championships. I reckon it's a really interesting story. Dave Hutton and Jason Lane, who's the Australian junior rowing coach, they've just come back from the Worlds in Tokyo, where Australia finished 5th overall, so we're going to have a good chat with them.
Pretty good.
Ricky Schroeder's coming in, we're going to have a chat. Norwood, what does the talent identification officer look for? And of course they took over the peninsula, which belonged to Port Adelaide. How's that transition gone for them? So plenty to chat about. But mate, our man Craig, of course, can't come in, the president of the Southern Footy League. He's over in Tasmania. His daughter's getting an award. So I thought we'd have a quick rundown of the scores in the Southern Footy Show, mate. So, the Southern Footy League, round 17, Aldinga 8-5, lost 7-21 to Morphett Vale.
Yeah, good performance by Aldinga at last. I mean, they kicked 8 goals, didn't they?
They did, not too bad too. And Aldinga sit in 9th spot. Morphy's in 6th, so they challenged him for a fair part of the game.
They did okay.
So I reckon that was a good one. Flagstaff Hill, well, mate, they need the big percentage booster, and they got surprised by the margin against Christie's Beach because, you know, you're talking about 2nd v 3rd, you go in a 57-point margin.
There's a flogging.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, big surprise. I thought that'd be the game of the round. That'd be the big one.
Well, I thought it might have been too. Port Noarlunga, unfortunately, a bit too strong for your boys at Cove, mate. 11-9, 75 to 21-15. I mean, Noarlunga have been dominant all year, and it's hard not to see them and Flagstaff Hill at the moment playing in the grand final.
It is. No, it is.
We know nothing's impossible, but just that.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, you got Noarlunga, Flaggies, Christie's Beach, and Port Noarlunga. Now, you'd have to say the form teams at the minute would be your two top ones. Will be
Noarlunga and Flaggies. Yeah.
Flaggies in particular are the sneaky ones. They're the ones that have come with a bit of a rush. And of course, they've got flags under their belt, haven't they? Yeah, this is going to be. I said to Craig, I think last time he was in, this is going to be a really good final series.
It's
going to be a really good one.
Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one because I don't think there's much between them.
No.
The two top ones, for sure.
So
and I even think on their day, Christie's and Port Noarlunga.
Good surprise.
Well, they might do some damage.
Yeah, I think my team, Renell, is struggling a little bit at the moment.
Well, I don't know what they did last week. They lost to Happy Valley by only 8 points.
8 points, but they should have got over Happy Valley.
But it is a top 5 in the...
So they're still in there.
So really... Renella really can't miss because Morphy's got a bye this week anway in the last round.
We may just be in a heavy work phase at the moment.
I'm just... a heavy work phase. There's a good one.
Well, we'll come back to that because I reckon Scotty's had a go at the Brisbane Lions on 2 fronts, mate, where he said, I think we were the better team on the day. Yeah. So I'm yet to see the better team on the day lose.
Do you know, Phil,
normally the better team on the day wins,
That's a very good point, mate, because he said the same thing when Port beat them. That he didn't feel like he felt like they were the better side.
So
he said exactly the same thing.
Sometimes you've got to be a little bit humble and say they were just better than us today. So I was a bit disappointed with that one. And the second one, I didn't notice Charlie Cameron. Well, I reckon if a bloke kicked 5 goals against me out of 10, I reckon you might notice him. So
especially when you lose by a point or whatever.
Just a bit disappointed.
That may be the difference.
Yeah, and sometimes it's case. I'll also defend Scotty. You're emotional and you're disappointed your team lost. So sometimes you say stuff.
I agree.
Just thought that. Anyway, mate, quickly let's get to round 18. Flagstaff Hill sit in 2nd spot. Port Noarlunga in 4th. This one is going to be a really good one.
Well, it depends on how they approach it, isn't it? You know, given it's a last mile round game?
Yeah, I reckon they're going. I reckon they're up and about.
Yeah, I think Flaggies are well up and about.
Yeah, I'd go with Flaggies in that one too.
I think so, yeah.
Happy Valley, Aldinga?
Happy Valley, Aldinga.
I got to go with Happy Valley.
You got to go Happy Valley. Happy Valley, good win against Renella last week.
All right, this one will be an interesting one on the back of last weekend. Noarlunga in 1st spot, Christie's Beach in 3rd, and Christie's Beach didn't play that well last weekend. Didn't. So I reckon when you're sitting in 3rd spot and you don't play well, you're going to bounce back. So we get a chance to see not necessarily the win that matters so much as the way you come back.
Is the effort, and it's at Noarlunga.
Yep. All right, and Cove up against Renella.
Oh, Cobra's easy.
Easy?
No.
No.
But, you know,
you want that dollar that I owe you or that coffee I owe you, want to go with Cove, mate? I'll go with Renella.
Double or nothing.
Okay, double or nothing. I'm going with Renella on that one. Hey, before we get to Bridget with the news, Steve Smith. Can't play in the 3rd or isn't playing in the 3rd with that delayed concussion that we were talking about before. Australia a chance. I mean, is this the one now where we need Warner who's struggled to date to really step up.
Absolutely.
This is the moment for him.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't step up, and we can still win, does Warner hold his spot after 6 innings of not really putting anything on the scorecard?
3 test matches is about your limit.
Or do you shuffle him into a different spot?
No, you don't shuffle him anywhere. He's an opener and that's it, full stop. He's an opener. Both sides have got brittle batting, in my opinion, right now. Both sides are a little bit dodgy in the batting. But me, personally, I would bring in Stark, Patterson, Cummins, Hazelwood. And you want to start the bouncer war?
Let's the game on.
Let's start it.
Were you disappointed with that?
No.
Or you thought that's part of the game now and he's got to be able to play it? Was Smith unlucky or just didn't play it well?
I didn't think he played it well. I've had this conversation during the week about...
Sorry, for the viewers that didn't see it, Smith gets hit with the bouncer just on the back of the neck and gets a delayed concussion. I don't know about you, it was about 11:30 at night, maybe even getting close to midnight. And I'm going, he's been hit in the arm and obviously in a lot of pain. They came out, they bandaged him. I thought, gee, this is courageous. He's gonna bat on, you know. And then he gets hit in the neck. I've gone, oops. Wow, we're in trouble now. Then I see him go off. Then I see him come back on. I'm about to turn it off, going because my eyes are. I can't watch much more. Oh, gee, Smith's coming back in. I'm back awake, and I'm going. This is fantastic. You know, I reckon for the first time I was genuinely excited about the Australian team, and more disappointed that they lost. But I thought, just tremendous courage. You know, I'm back on Smith going. Gee whiz, he made a mistake and I'm forgiving him for everything he's done now because clearly playing for Australia means everything to him.
It absolutely does, mate. I just think both sides are very brutal in their batting at the present time, and whoever gets on top with the ball is going to... And if Archer's 150 clicks, mate, that's from 22 yards away or 20 metres away, whatever it is, mate, that is not easy to face. But and this will be another story for another day, but I put all this down to the forward press. This is why people are getting hit in the head. They take their eye off the ball now you'll get hit in the head if you take your eye off it. It's going to hit you in the head.
Fair chance.
The theory being, Phil, if you're watching the ball, it's not going to hit you in the head.
Yes.
If you're watching it, you're not going to go, oh, here comes the ball.
Let it hit me in the head.
You whatever.
I know, coming at 150, it's hard to pick it up sometimes.
It's very difficult.
Hey, we need to get over to Bridget for the sporting news. Bevo's going to join us a little while. We're going to touch on one bloke's catch in the game against Australia. I know it's a sensitive point for you. Stay with us. Bridget, what have you got for us?
Thanks, boys. I'm Bridget, and here's another week of sporting news. Both the Crows and Port Adelaide's finals hopes are hanging by a thread following losses over the weekend. Adelaide couldn't get it going against the Pies, who eventually ran out 11-goal winners. Darcy Fogarty was once again sharp in the forward line, kicking 3 straight, but couldn't match Jamie Elliott's 5. The Crows will need a win against the Dogs on Sunday to sneak into the 8. Port Adelaide, meanwhile, put on their worst performance of the year, with North Melbourne beating them by 86 points. Robbie Gray and Carl Eamon kicked 5 goals between them, but the Power were beaten at every position on the ground. Port will need a win against Fremantle and have a couple other results go their way if they wish to play finals footy. The Forestville Eagles have come up big winners in the Premier League basketball, with both the men's and women's teams claiming the 2019 championship. The women's team finished out the game 3-point winners against arch rivals Sturt Sabres. It was a dramatic finish as Amy Brett produced a stunning drive down the court and hit the winning shot with just 3 seconds left on the clock. The men's team overcame a strong Mount Gambier outfit to run out 17-point winners. The Eagles trailed early but clawed their way back after a strong shift in momentum in the second quarter. Michael Harris took home the MVP award after scoring a game-high 30 points and 8 rebounds. To bowls, the SA Super League's second and third rounds were underway over the weekend. The long-awaited singles match between Ashley Halls and Craig Mills lived up to the hype, with the Hyson Comets taking it in a high-scoring affair, finishing the game top of the table. The Blazers and the Knights battled out a draw, while the Mallee Pirates produced a huge upset against the Eastern Raiders. Despite wet and chilly conditions, it was a phenomenal day of bowls. Adelaide Adrenaline played out the last game of their season but couldn't get it done against the Sydney Bears. Despite a strong second period, the Bears ran out 4-goal winners, keeping Adelaide winless this season. Adrenaline travelled to New South Wales to play their last couple games, with a rematch against the Bears and a final game against Newcastle. We're getting close to the end of the Hockey Premier League season, with Seacliff and Port Adelaide dominating round 19. In the men's competition, Seacliff got a strong win over Adelaide Uni, piling on 8 goals to remain at the top of the ladder. The women's Port Adelaide team claimed a 10-2 win against Grange, clearing top of the ladder by a massive 5 games. The second to last round of the season will kick off on Saturday and see some of the most important matchups of the season. SA Sport Institute scholar Ella Sibley has won gold at the UCI Track Junior World Championships. Ella dominated in the women's scratch race, while fellow SA cyclist Carlos Carismo claimed silver in the men's team's sprint. Ella continued her brilliance by winning silver in the women's K-Rin, snagging her second medal for the meet. That's all. I'll see you soon.